So I've been feeding a lot of demon food to Chiyu, haven't really gotten anything decent. Like, these look impressive, but they're really not. Like 50% chance to null fire. I'm just gonna get rid of that eventually. And maybe for these, because these are also demon food, but they give a dedicated ability. So this one's Seraph, got that from Cathedral. The ones that are important for Chiyu is minus 10% cooldown and some damage against chaos enemies. So we're gonna add that. Get rid of this fire null probably. And we have Gomery as well. That's very similar, but it's for law enemies and it gives incantation. Get rid of that slash null. And also have Harlot, which isn't so great, but it has plus 50 crit and a little bit of LB power against neutral enemies, so just a little bit more damage. Get rid of this blunt resist, not doing anything. So that should help my damage a little bit. So I've stored up a decent amount of apples, so we can do some Yodobashi runs. This is actually a completely custom run that Reimagine added. The live servers never actually had this run. It's actually the first one that Reimagine ever released, so it's pretty basic, but also interesting in a way, and you'll see. I imagine it was like someone's first attempt at making a run, just to test how far they could push the game. And it used to cost Massacadus to enter, but New Moon has changed it to 1k apples. So let's hop in here and see what it's like. I'm pretty excited because it's been like 2 or 3 years since I've run this. Okay. We're in a separate room, and now we're teleporting into the boss room. Pay magic golden apples. Okay. Look at this. Oh my god. They're a lot bigger than I remember. I might have to pop an incense just in case I start to die. So the Alalat can't be damaged yet. I have to do some other stuff in the run first. He only takes 1 damage for now. So let's digi up and start killing these Albion's little minions here. Forget if you need to use a certain element for them. Maybe I could just main my electric. They do have knockback enabled, so that's kind of annoying. Okay, electric was going good on the dark green one, although he does have a chance to drain it. So we've got to keep killing these guys until they drop me a key item. Yeah, there it is. Glittering ore. This is actually the run where I said I could get some glittering ore. Actually, if I only need glittering ore from these guys, maybe I can find one that has a decent weakness to electric. Oh, not that one. Dealing 6Ks on him. What about bright green? Oh, 30Ks. That's the one. Gotta kill bright greens. Until I get 3 glittering ore, I believe. Okay, there we got 3. We can come over to here. There's 1 on each side, but we need to complete. And we'll give this guy 3 glittering ore, and he spawns a bunch of little guys and 1 big Albion. Guess I have to use a different element for the yellow one. We'll try fire. It's low. About sonic force. Okay, force is the one we need to use for yellow. Try and remember that. So that's cleared. I think that's all we have to do on this side, yeah. Yeah, he's not even reacting to my clicks anymore. So we need to get 1 more glittering ore. Where are the bright greens? They're all dead? Okay, there's another 3. So we'll just repeat the same on this side as well. Summon out the Albion. Oh, it looks like one of the guys followed me over here, so I don't know which one I have to kill. Okay, that seems to be the last one. So now we can kill Alalat. Hopefully electric will go well on him. Okay, 10k seems decent. I don't have my... Yeah, we'll just rapid him down. Pretty simple. There's a lot of HP though. And that's Yodobashi. Oh my god, we got all that right off the bat. Beautiful. Let's see if I can take these glittering ores out of the dungeon and use them for that quest. No, I still have them. I guess I can. Back on Reimagine, people used to run this dungeon a lot because it was the only way for a regular person to get Skander. Skander sandals weren't out yet. There was a Skander boot that was only given to people that played before the server's final release, like in the beta days. So if you wanted Skander, you had to... Actually, this run came out a little bit later, so for like quite a few months, there was no way for a regular person to get Skander. Everyone was just running around really slowly, except for like the handful of people that played during the beta were just running around like crazy. Then this run came out and gave people Skander, but it was very expensive to run because it was cost 5 Massacators every time you wanted to enter. And the drop rate was super low. They've raised it a little bit now that we're in New Moon times. You can still get those items that give you Skander, but obviously we don't care about the Skander aspect anymore, but they do have other stat bonuses to them that are important. And then like 6 months after this dungeon came out, they released the Skander boots that were given to all the beta people. They just released them into the wild so that anyone could get them. And then a little bit after that, the Skander sandals came out so that all the newbies could get Skander. Alright, can I actually leave with these glittering ore? Okay, I guess they're removed from you once you re-enter the run, because otherwise you could just use them in the same run the next time round. So let's go... Do I still have the quest? Maybe I never took that quest. This is a gamble because I don't know if this is the same ID as the one that she's wanting. Okay, we have the quest. Will she take the glittering ore? Looks like it worked. Wow. They used the exact same item. Classic Reimagine. And that means we can buy these now. Which I'm not sure if there's any reason to do so. Oh, the Epi's in here? Did I mention that before? There's minus 30% cooldown. and this doesn't mean anything anymore. But yeah, obviously the Skander doesn't matter anymore, but they do have other stats. That's not important. But it does have an expertise gain and experience gain. That might be best in slot. I'll have to check. Yeah, that looks like best in slot for me, for experience and expertise. Although, that is an insane amount of soul shards. So I have the basic one, so I'd need 10, 25, 50 more soul shards. Even with like 999 luck, that would still take a very long time. So, let's summon out Alalat. And there he is. I guess it's a girl judging by the image on it. It starts at level 75. So I think I darted a 10 times Demon Incense before from Destiny, but I've just now realized you can make them just the same way that you make the player version. You just get 10 of those 5 times non-trade and some fruit from Cyan, and you can just make it the same way. So let's buy some in the comp shop. 10 cost 50 MF. Just mix it like that. And get 3 to 6. Come on, don't give me 3 again, please. No! Okay, just did a quick R4 Matama on him. Just gonna Matama fuse him right now. Gonna go over Ara Matama because we're trying to maximize HP here. 1%! Ah! I'm gonna have to take that to Ikebukuro. Forget what the requirement for this is, but there is a way you can 100% guarantee your double fusion at Ikebukuro Cathedral. Never really done this because I've just always relied on the plus 30% double fusion gear, but let's see what this is. So double fuse, I'm guessing the Matama has to be max friendship. Okay, there's a max friendship Matama, so both demons have to be max friendship, and I believe it takes a hell of a lot of crews to do this, so let's see. Okay, Alalat and Aramatama. So 100% for 2500 crews, so yeah, pretty expensive, but I can just dart more. And there we go, a basic R4 Matama demon. While I have this 10 times incense going on him, I'm going to go do some home 2. Try and get some more rebirths after the post Matama. Because I want to get Tiwa's line up to probably about 8. That'll maximize his HP, and I'll talk about that once we get there. So that's where we're going to leave it at. Matamid, and what is that, 5 ranks in Tiwaz. He currently has about 1500 HP, and he'll get a bit more once he levels up a bit. And I was going to mention why I went for Tiwaz. So there's this chart here, shows you how many bonus stats you get depending on which path you're in. And this is assuming that you're level 97. So if you're level 97 and you're currently in Tiwaz, you're going to get 154 strength and 110 vit. And that is the highest amount of stats that contribute to your HP compared to all the other paths. But you also have to take into consideration this here. Each line is specialized to a certain stat. So honestly, now that I'm looking at it, maybe weird would have been a better path because you can get some max HP out of it. And comparing it to Tiwaz, it's not that much less. It's probably like minus 30 on each stat. So yeah, weird is probably a better option. But Tiwaz is fine as well. Obviously Tiwaz is more towards demons that want to use melee damage. And Tiwaz is actually the path that I'm going for my Chi Yu. So the path that you're currently on is the last one you did a rebirth for. So that was this one here. So I'm currently on Tiwaz. But if I wanted to complete my demon on Tiwaz and doing all the paths to R8, I would need to leave this one for last so that I ended on a Tiwaz, if that makes sense. You do the path you want to end on last. But I'm not planning to rebirth this demon any more than this, so I'm fine with just doing Tiwaz now. So he should be tanky enough to survive most things. I'm going to give him a dodge skill as well, so I can park him at the start of runs, like I mentioned before. And that should increase his survivability quite a lot. Going to head back into Yodobashi, see if I can't get some DTs in here, because there are quite a few things I'd like to get. But I don't want to spend too many apples on it, that's the thing. Oh, and I added a bunch of passive skills to Alalat. He has Madhukaja, so I can just click this now, don't have to bother clicking on my player anymore. He has a dodge skill to stick him in place, he has magic save and awareness and incantation, all the stuff that my Kikuria Hime had, and I just put a 20% life booster on there just in case. Ooh! Rush skill, almost killed me. Somehow Alalat survived, he's a beast. Oh, it's so dangerous. Didn't get anything decent. Did about 5 runs. Probably don't want to spend any more apples, so we'll leave it there for now. Although I would like to come back for that fullness DT at some point. Look what I fucking got. Mother Harlot. It's like a 1% chance to get this thing. People spend ages trying to get it, and here I am with it, and I'm probably not even going to use it. It's valuable because it has a skill that is super high range, but it's also almighty. It's like very rare things to have together. And you can move that skill to any demon. So I could just like move it to some other demon if I wanted to use that skill, but I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with her yet. Didn't really expect to ever get one. So we've got a few things I want to do with Chi Yu right now. First thing is I want to give him Spin Booster X, the upgraded version, and that requires 70k SP. And I have been stacking up these vouchers that I got from the Demon Slums quests. So we're going to spend 14 of those right now. Alright, there is 70k on the Chi Yu. Now let's teach him the move. Passive skills, demon passives. Spin Booster X. It requires the basic Spin Booster and level 90 plus, but you can just get rid of the basic Spin Booster once you've learned it if you don't want to have both of them at once, but they do stack together. So there is Spin Booster. Put that on. There we go, we got both of them. And eventually I'm thinking I'll remove the basic one for Overkiller, which gives us 30% LB chance for any affinity instead of just Force. So that'll help Hades Blast as well, and also get my Vacuum Blade to almost 100% LBC. The second thing I want to show you guys is about rebirthing. Let me just do this one rebirth and then I can show you something cool. Okay, so the Demon Slums quest, they give you these tokens that you can trade in for rebirth conversion points. And you also just slowly get them from completing the quest as well. But you can spend those conversion points here. I may have shown this before, but Demon Rebirth Conversion and add conversion points. And you can literally just click and it just rebirths it for you. As much points as you can spend. So I have... How much do I have? I have 1,630 stacked up from the Devil Slums. And each line seems to be 500. So I could do 3 lines for free. So I want to grab the lines that have the most important Matama set bonuses first. That would be Weird, because it gives you LBC. Ingwas gives you some XP. And Lagus has movement speed and SP gain. And there's a few other lines I need to get because I don't have enough points to do it right now, but I'll probably train him up for. Hagalaz has some damage. Urus has some damage. Piorf has force damage. And Tiwaz will be his final resting place with just damage. So yeah, still got quite a lot of stuff to do. And I guess you can just change your Matama type here, which is interesting. I never knew you could do that. So we'll see if this works. I know it's been a bit buggy, especially once you start Matama strengthening, that really bugs this interface out. So we'll see if this works. That looks good. Let's just double check on his stats. Yeah, looks like it worked. Sweet. A bunch of free rebirths just by doing my dailies every day. This is an amazing spreadsheet that these guys made, Jinoga and Zarasis. It helps you plan out your Matama strengthening. I'll set this to 1 so that they show the basic abilities that you can get. And basically it starts out blank like that. So you can start at Tiwaz and you look down here. So say you want to get that plus 20 speed, plus 10 int, you need to put 4 Ara Matama. So then you just press 4. And then it lights up to show that you have that one planned out. And it says that you have 4 remaining to add on that line. So say you want to get that luck 20. So you need 4 Sakis. So we're going to put 4 Sakis there. Now we have 0 remaining and both of these lit up. So that line is good to go. And down the bottom you can see that you've input 4, maximum is 24. You can change all that. Yeah, you just go through and just put all your things in like that and just light them all up and you're good to go. But this is the one that I've gone with. It's just nice to have it planned out even if I don't actually intend on filling them all up. But yeah, the most important things here are that 10% LB chance from Weird. Got the strength all over the place, melee damage, got some force damage here. That XP gained is very nice as well. And the move speed, gotta have that. So I can show you some quick ways to get Matama demons, because I'm gonna have to get like a hell of a lot of them. So you can head over to Kakyo Castle Casino and come down to the rag shop over here. Just around this corner. There's one of these in every city, but this one here sells the demons for a little bit cheaper. So you definitely want to come here. You can talk to Rag. And he sells Matamas along with elementals, but we want Matamas and they're pretty pricey. But if you have a whole stack of gems in your tank, you can just buy these and not worry about having to fuse up a Matama. Not sure if I'm going to do this one is actually pretty good because I have good access to coral and good access to sapphires, but some of these gems I don't really have good access to, so I'm not going to spend them. But if you run a wide variety of dungeons, you probably have a good stack of all of these gems in your tank. Now we could take a look. I just took out the coral and sapphires, got plenty of them. Take a look at how my gems are looking. Yeah, got a lot of pearls and jades. And a hell of a lot of everything else. But notably the ones that are low, amethyst at only 200, turquoise as well, less than 200, and emerald, 1. Nothing is dropping me emeralds. I think the only source of emeralds I have is running Boundless and just hoping to run into like 1 of 2 enemies that can drop emeralds in there. And if I really need one in a pinch, I can always go back to the phoenixes like I did at the start of this series. An alternate option if you don't have any gems, but if you do have a lot of fighting spirits to spend, Cyan actually sells elementals that you can fuse together to create Matama demons. Should be in her PG section. Yeah, you have the option to buy 1 or 10 at once, which helps if you're buying in bulk. They cost 3 fighting spirits each. Personally, I like to stack up my fighting spirits and spend them on other stuff, so I'm just going to spend gems. But this might be a good option for you. So this is how the DU set is looking. I SI'd up those ID moves that I got from EOD. I've got these 2 here as well, but I couldn't get Spiral ID Move as a drop, so I'm just using Pursuit ID Move Demon here. It's only slightly worse. We're looking at 65 final crit, 55% TA chance, and 85% power, and a pretty low 45% LB chance, but I can increase that with an incense bought in the comp shop if need be. And I'm going to get that Overkiller 3 at some point as well. Got a Lucifuge on my comp, just like my PC set, so as long as I'm Digi, my demon's going to get a little bit more LBC and final crit. And Kuro for the move speed. I wanted to use Luva turrets, but the plugin requires you to have all 4 of Albion's little minions, the colored orbs that I was getting from Uaji, but for some reason I only have 2 different colors, so you need all 4, and I'm all out of DM cards, so I can't actually run that dungeon anymore. So Luva will have to go on the back burner. All these in red, by the way, means I have to go get it. That comes from Yodobashi, that comes from Boundless Wildcat, so does that. Special ticket comes from Wildcat Ice Caves. That comes from TMG Lucifuge when I have the talisman, which honestly I'm thinking is bugged. I don't think I'm ever going to get that talisman. I've done so many runs. And if I want to go back to home 2, I can get 2 more Blessed Light Red Wings and make a 30% move speed back for my DU set. It'll be useful for running in Diaspora. So I'm going to start grinding out some Wildcat items. But before I do that, I'm going to show you guys how to make a hustle drink for your demon, because the hustle drink only affects the player, but there is a demon version. You can head down to any pharmacy and buy a special item in here. So on the second tab, she has these precious eggs. They cost MF, and it's probably a good time to mention that these demon hustles are pretty expensive to make compared to the player hustle. So we'll just buy these, and I'll just check the item mix recipe because I forget what the other item is. I know it's something that Kino sells. Ah, Orb of Swiftness, yes. Kino does sell those. So we'll head over to Gambler Kino. So you're going to need MF and casino coins to make these, and she just sells them in her store here. It was Orb of Swiftness, so you have to item mix these Orbs of Rapidity into Orb of Swiftness. Let's just buy, these are pretty cheap, just buy this one I guess. Split them in half, and then item mix them all together and see how many we come out with. This is where you want an auto clicker, so you can just auto click that execute, just let it go. Okay, I got 120 Orb of Swiftness out of that. We can mix them with those precious eggs and get 1 to 4 Hyper Gemstone, which is the Demon Hustle. So we rolled pretty poorly. We only got 7 out of that 30 MF, but that'll do. Let's see how quick Chi you can get now. Whoa, look at him go. Look at that walk cycle. Look at him gallop.